with a tight transition while the lip's coming down. If you're the intermediate surfer who's purely trying to get out onto the shoulder, like, yeah, okay, I finally made it. If you lean, the skateboard's going to turn. Today's YouTube video is really exciting. We're going to deliver the missing data points that has potentially been holding you back from reaching your best surfing. When you're learning how to surf, you're on a big long board, you're taking a flatter line, and to turn that board, because it's so big, so long, so wide, so thick and full of volume, you have to pivot the board and manipulate the board to turn. On the opposite scale of that spectrum, we have professional surfers where we spend most of our time watching. These surfers have a vertical approach, and when they're going vertical, they have to pivot their board to make that board fit with a tight transition while the lip's coming down, and then they get all the speed by going vertically down the wave again. So in both those instances, the surfers, whether they're a beginner or an advanced surfer, are required to push on the back foot. Number one, to manipulate the board, but number two, to pivot the board to get those turns done. And we've heard this time and time again from the WC commentators who are going, that was a brilliant turn. He's pushing hard on the back foot. And the information is correct. Now, this is where things go wrong. With that information, if you're the intermediate surfer who's purely trying to get out onto the shoulder, like, yeah, okay, I finally made it. If you employ those techniques of pressing hard on the back foot on a higher performance surfboard on the shoulder, you're probably going to find that you run into some issues. The board's going to stall, the board's going to pivot, it'll probably slide out and flip, or you're going to lose speed, you'll lose your flow, and there's a number of problems that gets associated with trying to do a heavy back foot turn on the shoulder. So let's try to understand, okay, what's going on with this? Why is there a problem? Because the pros are doing it, the beginners are doing it, everyone's doing it. Why is it not working for me? The problem gets confounded because you hear that you've got to press hard on your back foot. Now, the reason why you'd want to press harder is that the more speed you get, the more water passes under the board, which means that you got to press harder on the board to displace the board into the water to be able to do the turn. So what the surfers do, surfing in the middle of the wave, they then start pushing even harder and the board flips out. They catch rail. Again, it starts to create a whole hornet's nest of problems. And what the surfer then does, he changes his surfboard and probably gets bigger fins that doesn't slide out, but it becomes harder to turn. They just sort of aggravate the situation. The simple, easy solution is to use your body's intelligence. You need to use your senses. Your senses taught you how to walk. Your senses also taught you how to ride a bicycle. So when you're going down a hill on a bicycle, if you're going fast, you will lean to turn. If you're going slow, you will twist to turn. The same principles will work on a skateboard. If you're gunning a hill on a skateboard, all right, and you're going really, really fast, if you lean, the skateboard's going to turn. But if you're going slow, you'll just do a gentle twist and you can start doing figure eights on that skateboard on the hill. Well, when you're surfing laterally, forget about stomping the tail. You need to think about the speed that you are going on the wave by looking at where you want to go. Now bear in mind, the equation for speed is distance over time. So you need to gauge the distance that you're going and how you want to turn and the amount of time that's going to take you, and decide whether you're going to use a twist for this turn or whether you're going to use a lean for this turn. Generally, on a bottom turn, you've got speed because you've got speed from the takeoff going down the wave. Your bottom turn is generally going to be a bit of a lean, and then as you go up to the top, as the wave gets steeper, you start slowing down. So that turn needs to change to a twist. You need to look where you want to go and judge the distance and the time, and use your senses and your body's natural intelligence to teach you how to turn. And if you start applying your leans and your twists to your surfing, you can then start fine-tuning your surfing, where you can start going from lateral to more vertical when the pivot will start to work and the back foot surfing will start to work. Whereas right now, doing the wrong turn at the wrong place and at the wrong time could be holding you and your surfing back. You're gonna find that by employing the right turn at the right time is gonna give you this feeling or the sensation when they say only a surfer knows the feeling. Just by connecting the right turn at the right place with the right amount of speed gives you that feeling where surfing becomes easier and effortless. If it's hard, you're doing it wrong.